Chris!
Heath.
It's just us guys.
Our introduction does not leave an elegant way to introduce any extra guests.
What a special occasion we have today.
Nearly a first on Mobius Tube's history.
Whenever we need an opinion, I always like to think that I speak for all people, all creeds, all ages, especially when it comes to who is the best girl in Persona 5 Royal. We have an expert opinion on the female persuasion. Isn't that right?
We have a third chair today. Hey, Samantha.
Who's that?
Welcome to the show. This is my girlfriend, listeners. She is very courageously volunteered to appear on this episode. Episode 104 of Mobius Tubes, being recorded on April 28th, 2024. And we should just give her a quick introduction, get her feet wet in the podcasting world. Because Samantha, you've never been on a podcast before, have you?
Nope, never.
Oh.
And that can be an intimidating thing. But let's get the listeners acquainted. You've got big gamer credentials, do you not?
Yeah, my first gaming experience, I was about 3. I played Elmo's Number Journey, I think it was called, on the N64. I've been gaming ever since.
And you've been hooked like a crack addict ever since.
Right, I can't get enough of that guy.
Odd that the Count wasn't involved. Or maybe he might have been the final boss.
Oh, he was there. I remember his castle being very scary.
Okay, yeah. Chris, just take a guess. What's the highest number in Elmo's Number Journey? Do you think it is 64?
It would be risky to go any higher than that.
Yeah, you think the kid's playing Elmo's Number Journey and then looks down at the console and says, Nintendo, oh God, what is that?
What were some of the formative games from your childhood? Aside from Elmo, of course.
Aside from Elmo, when I was really young, I remember playing a Barbie game where I rode a horse around and solved mysteries. But as I got older, I really liked the Paper Mario series a lot. And as I got even older, I got into Skyrim and a little bit of Call of Duty. So I think I ventured more into traditional games then.
You've dabbled in many different genres.
Yeah.
What's the best Paper Mario?
My favorite is the Paper Mario for the Wii. And I feel like that's not a super popular opinion, but I've played it through at least 4 times.
It really starts to hit around playthrough number 3.
Yeah,
right?
that's when you really get into the lore.
We have both placed our pre-orders for Paper Mario and the Thousand-Year Door, releasing in May.
May 23rd.
That'll be my first foray into that sub-franchise.
I was going to say I haven't pre-ordered a game in maybe a decade.
Nor should you, really.
But I just did.
What?
Because I wanted that Frostpunk 2 Deluxe Edition.
Hey, Heath.
What?
I've got a newspaper clipping for you.
What's wrong? What, did you have a physical copy? This is an actual newspaper clipping. Why? Oh. This just in. Biggest video games coming in July. At the bottom of the page.
The last characters on that newspaper.
Yeah, is July 25th, Frostpunk 2 on PC.
You can't miss it.
Can I frame this? Great.
Yeah,
well,
that was in our physical paper.
That's
odd.
odd.
So all the boomers know that Frostpunk's coming out.
Who would have? Hats off to whatever reporter.
I think it's the Democrat and Chronicle.
Yeah, not necessarily. Yeah. I should join their readership. They have good taste in debut indies.
Yeah, get yesterday's news today.
Jesus.
We haven't quite finished your introduction yet, Samantha.
Yeah, tell us, did you play Christopher Robin's Baseball? The Winnie the Pooh browser game?
It's on my to-do list, but I haven't gotten there yet.
Mm-hmm.
What were your favorite consoles growing up? Did you have strong brand loyalty?
Oh, well, growing up, my mother was really big into Nintendo, so I didn't own a non-Nintendo console until I was 13.
Okay.
But I had a GameCube when I was little, and I loved that.
Did she call all the Nintendo consoles Game Boys, or did she differentiate?
She played a lot of video games, so she knew what they were called.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
It's in your blood.
Yeah, she's the one who put me onto video games.
Fascinating.
Very cool. And just give us a smattering of what are some of your favorite games of all time?
Well,
and what do you love about them?
Fire Emblem Three Houses is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
It has an amazing cast of characters, and the strategic battles are really fun. The Danganronpa series ranks up there also for similar reasons. The cast of characters and the mysteries are really fun.
They're so good.
This is really basic, but I liked Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. They were great. I feel like I don't need to say why. Everybody liked those.
Listeners, you can tell why I was smitten with Samantha. She's got such good taste.
And I played Mass Effect after meeting Chris, and I really liked those as well. Mass Effect 2 is obviously the best one.
I'm not even pointing a gun to her head.
Oh my God. Happy Star Wars Day, everybody. And it's my birthday. Yeah. Gosh, speaking of Danganronpa, I was scrolling through the Steam library trying to tee up games to play with Bailey.
Because we're all in a family together.
Yes. And I thought for a second maybe I could convince her to play Danganronpa. And the Steam wallpaper cover art for that game was just a big old pink and purple anime snooze fest as far as she's concerned. Tell me how I can convince her to look past the anime.
I mean, it's more of a murder mystery than, like, I think it does have anime components, but, like, the majority of the time, you can kind of ignore it and just really dig into the case solving.
I'm going to have to differ with Samantha here. The anime aesthetic is not skin deep in Danganronpa. It's to the core. There might not be hope.
Well, speaking of which, like, how much is the rest of Persona 5, like, even more Kamoshidas?
Don't worry, we'll dedicate a huge chunk of this podcast to answering all of your Persona questions, Heath.
Okay.
Because this is going to be the Persona 5 Royal Blowout episode.
Yeah.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Now that the listeners are intimately familiar with who Samantha is, we can talk about the Forgotten City.
Okay.
Heath, you've been playing the Forgotten City.
Yes, I have. And we almost didn't return to it on my advisement. I thought it would be like a one-off, and then I wasn't necessarily going to return to the well. But
You're
Bailey's
playing it along with Bailey.
Yes, yeah. Couch co-op, but I'm driving. To her credit, she said, I want to keep going.
Got its hooks into her.
Rare. Right? Because our first playthrough session, it's like so much exposition. I can't even remember that initial character that tries to tell you that you're in a archaeological site. But then you come
by the river.
Yeah, and then you cosmic dunk your way into that pool and then swim out, and then you meet Galerius.
Best boy Galerius.
And then it's probably like 70 minutes of just exposition. What is the golden rule? Don't make any sins.
There's a lot of premise to establish.
Yes.
What is the elevator pitch of this game, Heath?
It's a clockwork, ancient Rome detective sim. And the first playthrough is just meeting all the gladiators and all of the merchants. And then I ran into an assassin.
Right.
Who wouldn't let me get away and threatened to kill me, which angered the gods. And then that was the end of the first playthrough. And I thought, like, oh, maybe we'll do something different. But no, Bailey wanted us to go back in. Sam, are you familiar with the Golden City? The Forgotten City?
Yeah, it was one of my top 3 games I played last year.
Right.
I loved it. Yeah.
Right. Took me way too long to realize that assassin you could trick into killing him with the temple that Fabia dies in. But once I did that, everyone in town is like, you got a bow? How did you get the bow? There's a weapons ban. I need this bow. Give me the yo, come on. Go into that temple and shoot the hornet's nest. So we did that most recently. The main takeaways, this is like, it's an indie game.
Right. A small dev team. It started its life as just a mod for Skyrim.
Right.
Very community driven.
Right. And you can tell... And it's not blowing my mind, but sorry, Sam.
Samantha and I were creeping on your Steam achievements and realized you have yet to hit an ending.
Right. I don't know how to escape.
So I don't think there has not been any opportunities for your mind to have been blown yet.
Right. I'm shooting skeletons and gold people.
Oh yeah. The collision detection in that game left something to be desired.
Bailey was laughing, like sides, holding her sides, watching me try to like shoot the algae to trap the enemies. Because if you miss your shot, you have to like You have to backpedal 50 feet while 6 guys just kind of maul you with T-Rex arms. So I'm looking forward to getting an ending. I imagine it's going to be the ending where you figure out who did it.
Who did what?
Commits the sin that triggers the end of the world.
Okay, because you hit one fail state where an assassin committed a sin, which ended your loop. But as you gather more information and delay the inevitable, you encounter sins that are happening later in the timeline.
I have no idea where Scintilla is. I'm desperate to get Dooley out. How sad is that? Dooley, the mentally disabled, imprisoned, for lack of a better word, villager, who is deemed a menace to society by the old governor.
Right. He's being restrained for fear that he accidentally commits a sin.
Tragic listening to his sob story. I'm desperate to get him out.
I couldn't help but notice you engaged pretty thoroughly with the Galerius romance subplot.
Yeah. And thoroughly, by that you mean like the number of attempts it took me. How long did it take Chris to jump off the zip line at just the right height to catch those flowers?
How many attempts did it take you, Chris?
Took me 4.
Definitely not below 3. So,
oh wow. Yeah. So, cause what does Equita say at the end of that quest? She's like, "Oh yeah, I have the hots for him too. Don't worry. Once I turn 36, my chastely vows are called off,
null and void.
So we can smash at 36." So, and I forget what she says at what age the game takes place, but I was just like, wow, all right. That's the end of that romance. To be continued, I guess. No, I've no idea how to rig the election. I have no idea how to get Rufus to stop his homophobia towards Virgil.
Yeah, he's quite blatant with that.
Yeah.
Have you been trying to suss out where the gray area is for what counts as a sin and what's safe to do?
Yeah, why was I allowed to lie? Why was I allowed to lie to the assassin that Quinctius was in the temple that had the falling rocks? Lying is a sin. Is it because he didn't realize that it was a lie until after he died?
It's fun to suss out those nuances.
Who, not Lucas Pope. Who makes this game?
I don't know offhand.
Okay. George Socks.
Oh, George Socks of YouTube.
Super Bunny Hop made this game. I gotta consult with him after I beat it, I guess. But I'm probably 1 or 2 play sessions left.
What have been the biggest informational revelations that have helped you make progress? You realize that trick with the assassin you can pull.
Yeah.
But anything else that comes to mind?
And now I have a magic bow.
And I have a magic bow.
And I know which, as soon as I find Scintilla, I'm going to be able to manip the election, probably. Because that was like the one. There are a lot of one-issue voters in ancient Rome town that I just got to sway by making sure that, I don't know. I have no allegiance toward Malleolus versus Sentius.
You're a fence-sitter.
Do you have any theories about the overarching plot or anything like that?
It's a fantasy land. I got dunked into just like an anachronism.
Main character guy hit his head when he fell. You're saying what you're seeing is not real, perhaps?
No, it's real. It's just like a tiny little Wakanda type society.
Under the radar secret.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to find my way out through a portal. That's how I got here. Or no, well, the reset mechanic.
Right.
This is as much as I know. If there's like an immortality level twist ahead of me, I have no inkling.
It sounds like you're still in the front half of the game.
Yeah.
Samantha, this was definitely one of our favorite games we played together last year.
Oh, for sure.
What encouragement or motivation would you say to Heath to like compel him to keep going?
I would say if you didn't super enjoy the golden bow portion of the game, I think that was probably the worst part of the game to me.
Oh,
So
I
it's
would
all
agree.
going to be so much better from here. You have all the best stuff ahead of you.
I mean, actually finding Navia and realizing she's like the lesser of evils. What with her kind of Frankenstein? What was the BioShock villain that tried to like fix the Freakos?
Is he the surgeon?
Just like the doctor guy. That's Navia in Forgotten City. No, I mean, good that you say that because I didn't think it was particularly weak. I mean, I imagine the cistern is going to be the same way.
Yeah, I think the quest to get the bow is the game's token actions section.
Sure.
And the rest is just brain dopamine revelations.
Oh.
Informational puzzle solving.
Intrigue.
Yeah.
Well, good.
And once you start messing with the clockwork of the system, then you're cooking. That's where the game's at its best.
I mean, I retain like all the keys and stuff.
Yes, your persistent inventory is a big leg up.
There's a gold lady blocking a door that I try to slip past when it all goes down, and I haven't gotten past her yet because I keep losing track of where that is when things go down. I'm in the caves for like minutes at a time, and no one's shooting me to death. So I'll figure it out.
What initial guy did you choose? Like what profession?
Oh yeah, what was your specialty?
What class? Well,
Yeah.
I knew I may have thought that, God forbid, Bailey wants to give it a try and my health is too low or whatever. I wanted to be able to afford her the opportunity to get hands-on with it. So I think I chose the one that was like 25% health bonus. And then there's the one that's like more speed. Did you choose more speed, guy?
I chose gun.
Oh, gun guy. Oh.
Gun is definitely
Gun
the
with-
funniest.
Gun with only 9 bullets for your entire playthrough.
Yeah, you could just waste that in the palace on the gold people, I imagine, if you ran out of arrows.
Yeah, having a gun has limited utility when shooting people is considered a sin.
Yeah, murder is a sin. I didn't even drink the hemlock.
Oh.
There's hemlock in the game.
I'm not sure we found that.
The bartender. I'll say less.
I'll say less. Okay. Very cool. I'm glad you did not forget about the Forgotten City.
Ooh. Yeah. All right. What have you guys been playing? I played one more other thing in addition to P5.
Well, you actually set us up for an elegant segue because I have to correct some sins of Chris's past that pertain to the Forgotten City and another game Samantha and I have been playing. But first, listeners, cast your mind back to our most recent Top 10 Games of the Year episode, where I kept trotting out this term Heath takes issue with, the Metroid Brainia.
Uh-huh.
I was far too lax and loose with what I was applying this term to.
Yeah.
So just to cast people's mind back, this was when I was talking about games such as The Forgotten City and the case of the Golden Idol. I was saying, this new trend of games where the only progress blocker to the player is lacking knowledge. If you went into the game knowing the solution, you could just breeze to the finish line. And that was how I defined it. I think that's wrong. I just somehow found a way to describe every puzzle game ever made.
Yeah, I was right to take umbrage, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that is not the definition.
Okay.
I described all rectangles when I needed to narrow down to the square. It is a portmanteau of Metroidvania, those exploration games where certain areas are blocked off to you until you acquire the certain power-up or tool.
Yeah.
The Metroids and your Castlevanias of the world. But it's a portmanteau with brain. That's where the knowledge component comes in. So a true Metroidvania, as Chris defines it now, not Chris in the past, he was misinformed. It needs to be an exploration-based game where physical parts of the environment are blocked off from you until you acquire the requisite knowledge that lets you into them. You had access the whole time to them. You just didn't know how to get access.
Mm-hmm.
The Forgotten City falls into this category, I believe, where you can just rush an ending right from your first cycle if you know exactly what to do. Knowledge is the only hindrance. And Samantha and I have been playing another true Metroidvania.
Yay!
And that is 2016's The Witness.
Yeah.
From Jonathan Blow of Braid fame.
Yeah.
I played Braid back in the day, and I was like, wow, I see this guy is clearly operating on a very high level, but these games are just, they're making me feel so dumb. And while that statement isn't entirely false playing The Witness, I'm having a better time.
Oh, good.
Samantha, how would you tell our listeners what the premise of The Witness is all about?
Oh, well, you're dropped onto an island with a bunch of different cool environments.
You just described Fortnite.
Yeah, I guess so.
Where we drop in.
We're given no instructions except you see these puzzles and there's a dot in some part in the puzzle and then there's like a line that extends out and your object is to connect the dot to the part that extends out in a way that unlocks the puzzle, and you kind of just learn rules through the environment.
Yeah, it's like a gorgeous string of hundreds of Sudoku line puzzles. And I liked you said it wordlessly communicates things to you. The game is practically language independent. There's not a bit of text or a narration of any kind going on. It puts so much faith in the player's ability to internalize its rule set almost organically.
It's like the direct opposite of Forgotten City, because every 5 minutes the whispers will be like, the priestess has the bucket.
Right. This is quintessential show don't tell, The Witness.
Yeah.
And just like Samantha said, you're plopped on this island and it's pretty much open to you. You can explore it very non-linearly, which is interesting because wherever you decide to go, it's more or less the type of line puzzles you're encountering will be geographically tied to wherever you decide to go. So there will be a grouping of line puzzles that operate under a similar rule, all in close proximity to each other. But depending on which direction you set out in, north, south, east, west at the beginning, you're going to acquire different rules about how they operate in a different order. Meaning you can encounter puzzles you lack the context for.
Yeah.
It'll be hieroglyphics for you until you stumble upon what should be like the tutorial area for this rule set of the game. And then all of a sudden you have the keys to the kingdom and you know how suddenly that puzzle that was totally Egyptian to you on the other side of the island, you'll be like, oh, that's how that works. That we're supposed to be playing Tetris over there. Or we need to separate the white squares from the black squares and create these lines of division. The game is slowly layering on more and more complex rule sets, and they can all interact with each other. It's crazy.
Is it better than Antechamber?
What's the pitch for Antechamber?
It's just Portal with optical illusions.
Okay. Maybe a mix between Portal and Superliminal?
Yeah.
What's a classic puzzle in Antechamber?
If this picture frame fills your entire field of view as you back away, everything that was obscured, non-orthogonal walls and stuff will appear, and like you need to back through this hallway rather than walk forward, and it's the Ashurian stairwell. Like I could say any buzzword now, and it would be in Antechamber.
I haven't played Antechamber, but I think it's dubious to say it's better than The Witness, because I think this is one of the most impressive puzzle games I've ever played.
Yeah, definitely better than Talos Principle, am I right?
We're just listing any first-person puzzle game we can think of. For me, The Witness, when the game truly sparks awe in me, is when it finds ways to tie the variables in the surrounding environment around the line puzzle you're currently playing into the puzzle itself and make it relevant to reaching the solution. If I elaborate more or cite examples, I think it would be giving too much away.
Please, Chris, go on.
No, but the way that these almost like artificial clinical puzzles you're solving on these flat 2D screens, slowly but surely, the environment around them begin to bleed into the puzzle itself. I have a fairly innocuous example I can cite. The meticulous consideration to detail here, it can't be understated. My jaw was on the floor. Samantha pointed this out to me. It was a really small, simple puzzle. We were able to move a platform from one side of a stream to the other so that we could cross.
Yeah.
And we looked at it. We, from first principles, solved it using the rules we had been internalizing about how the lines work. But only upon completing it, Samantha pointed out to me, oh, that silhouette we just traced on the diagram, we just created the outline of the platform on the other side of the river. The solution was just drawing the platform where we wanted it to be.
Uh-huh.
And then it moved to that position in 3D space.
Huh.
And then the opposite would be true. If we ever wanted to cross the river in the opposite direction, we would just trace the outline of the platform where we wanted it to be. We could effectively ignore the rules. We knew what the solution was supposed to look like.
Interesting. Okay. How very Tears of the Kingdom-ian?
Yeah, in a way. I feel like in The Witness, there's like one solution. In Tears of the Kingdom, it's much more flexible. There's a lot of different solutions to any problem.
We are about 6 hours in. I'm going to guess we're a third of the way done. Just ballparking it. When we are all done, it would be fun to like do a spoilerly section of like, here were the top 5 most mind-blowing puzzles in The Witness. Because we've already got some strong candidates. Samantha, I've been dominating the conversation about The Witness. What has stood out about the game to you so far?
I think when you first enter the game, the environment is very pretty and it's very like nicely done. And when you see environments like that are very beautiful, you kind of think they're just there for aesthetics. But the more we play it, the more I feel like nothing was by accident. Nothing's been done just for aesthetics. It seems to always have some sort of puzzle purpose. And that's really cool. I've never seen a game do that before.
I agree. It's almost sickening.
Yeah.
Where like, oh, this thing in the environment had to be right there.
I had to stop myself from saying horrible instead of puzzly.
Yeah. And it's this game, you've been thinking about it while we're not playing.
Yeah, I'll like take a picture of the puzzle that we're stuck on. And when I'm like at home or something, I'll try and figure it out if I can. I think I've only figured out 1 or 2 on my own, though. They're really tricky.
They can be.
Yeah.
I am so impressed with The Witness. For me personally, some puzzle games, you love them because there's constant revelations and you as the player feel so smart when you figure it out.
Yeah.
For me personally, this has been a humbling experience. I don't think The Witness is a game you play to feel clever. However, as I'm playing, it's evident to me how clever the designers were.
Oh, that's ideal.
I can't help but be impressed. How do you think up this game?
Okay. I never beat Baba Is You.
Oh, I didn't even come close. Samantha made it further than me.
What, you how many flower petals you got? 73?
I don't know off the top of my
That's
head.
how many flower petals I got.
We have the same number of achievements, so there. Yeah.
When it comes to clinically designed puzzle game, oh, so smart, Baba Is You is the game to beat.
I think it's operating on a similar level.
To be continued during your special Witness cast.
Right.
I would say Baba Is You is harder than The Witness.
Yes. I mean, I was deterred from Baba Is You far faster.
Yeah.
You need to watch. When you finish the game, you've probably played enough to get the joke from the Looker.
Chris has informed me about
God.
the Looker.
I told her about the Looker.
The Looker is so funny to
I
me.
couldn't resist.
Yeah.
It is quite the Looker, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, that's all we have to say.
Hey, wait. The Witness came out like 1,000,000 years ago. Has there a
Yes.
sequel coming?
Jonathan Blow has been working for a long time on a new game. I doubt it's a direct sequel. He seems to want to move on to the next thing.
It's a Metroid Braid-like.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It'll be the first.
Shut up.
All right, that's it for The Witness. Heath, should we tackle your final non-Persona game?
It wasn't even a game. I played a demo.
Interesting.
I played Tangled Towers demo.
Was this on the PC?
Yeah, on the PC. GMTK mentioned it during the detective video.
Oh, okay.
GMTK his name is Mark Brown, and he has a British
He made
accent.
that Balatro hidden score video.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, where he described how Balatro UI improvement would ruin the game. That Mark Brown?
That
Got
Mark
it.
Brown.
So he's talking about, what the hell are we talking about? Oh, Tangle Tower, the spiritual successor to Detective Grimoire or something like that. Just think like crime scene, investigate, point and click, talk to Mad Libs fill in the blank Golden Idol-esque solution puzzling. What sets it apart is, unlike Case of Golden Idol, the art style is gorgeous. And these
How would you
characters,
describe it?
I would describe it as vector characters.
I can picture it now.
Shut up. So we only play the demo, which means you go up to the crime scene and you see, this artist got stabbed while she was painting this painting of her mother, who's mute and refuses to talk to me. And the canvas was later finished, and the red on the canvas is not red paint, it's blood. So, it's got a lot of mirth, this Tangled Tower. It's got a lot of quirk. Because the dynamic between the two detective Grimoire and the buddy Sally, Bailey and I enjoyed it first and foremost. The point and click is really, this game just really plays itself. If you click on a part of the screen that's maybe slightly more saturated than the rest of the screen, you'll hit credits.
Okay.
Bailey and I, we liked it enough that we're gonna buy it when Tangled Tower probably goes on sale once Mermaid Mask drops. Mermaid Mask is the sequel. Same amount of polish. This game's got polish.
Same amount of alliteration.
Yes. And that's all I can say, because it was just literally a demo that took us like maybe 40 minutes. No, that might not. There was a puzzle. There was an egg jewel puzzle that might have taken me longer than it should have. But that's Tangled Tower, recommended. Me and Mark Brown approve. Ask me no questions, because I played a demo.
But it was enough to sell you on the final product, albeit on sale.
Yeah, Bailey and I were jazzed.
Very good. Demo did its job then.
Yeah.
Well, I can't help but notice, according to Steam metrics,
Balatro?
I am now the least informed Balatro player at the table right now.
Well, I mean, you just need to rise to our level.
The students have become the masters. We should discuss it a little bit, maybe. To be fair, I've been sandbagging my Balatro playing, waiting for the hot new update to drop.
Like 1.0.3?
Yeah, it's the first big update with some balance patches and stuff. But anyway, Heath, you're up to 37 hours or something?
So that can't be right.
Balatro?
I went to bed with it running on the menu screen. But Balatro, everyone's favorite card game, roguelike game. Me and Sam have been playing PvP style, and I'm an odd Todd, and she's an even Steven, am I right?
You got it.
It's the easiest comfort food you can play.
You were sending me your late night run screenshots where you had over $200 banked?
No, surely I didn't.
You did?
Oh, I did, yeah. Oh, because I used Rocket.
Yeah, Rocket's really good for money.
Yeah. It's even better than To the Moon, or whatever that stock one is.
The Rocket one is called To the Moon, I think.
No, it's called Rocket.
Is the stock one called Stonks?
I got Local Thunk on the phone. It's called Rocket.
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Local Thunk.
Samantha, you're a real Balatro shark. You've been experimenting on the higher difficulties, which I've only dipped a toe into the water. How does that change the experience?
When I was on the lower difficulties, I could have a more flexible strategy. And now on the higher ones, if I don't get the jokers I need by like ante 3 or 4, the run is dead. There's not really a lot of room for error I've seen. And also I've had to rely more heavily on the flush strategy. Even though I've seen that people like the high card one, I can't wrap my head around that.
Yeah. Apparently, a big high card strat is the way to go. And I have yet to lean into that.
Well, maybe if you got like Astronaut and you have Telescope and you can just spam Pluto. But Cavendish.
I used Cavendish for the first time yesterday.
Cavendish is just like, this should be illegal.
It makes me so nervous after every blind where you see the safe pop up.
For people that have no idea what I'm talking about, it's the multiplicative joker that times 3 mult every hand.
But there's a 1 in 1,000 chance it dies.
God forbid, yeah.
Do you understand the Gross Michael Cavendish reference?
They are breeds of bananas.
Right. And I think Cavendish is the type we eat today.
Yes.
But Gross Michael was a thing of the past.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. I love it. Here's the thing you need to understand about Balatro. The reason we stop playing games is either we run out of time, we get too tired, or we get bored. And I'll admit, I got bored in some parts of Mass Effect. I got bored of Persona 5 where, oh God, every 15 seconds, Morgana has something to say. I have yet to put down Balatro for any reason other than I gotta go to bed, or and even then, like I said, like Chris was saying in my text message,
Yeah, that text was well past midnight.
yeah, Balatro has just too much staying power. It might not have any stopping power. It might not be game of the year, but unlike Civilization 5 or 6 or 7, no, 7's not out yet, where you could be like 110 turns in and be cruising and just think like, oh, it's a formality. I'm going to take over the continent because I upgraded my archers before Genghis Khan. I can get bored of Civilization. It's still like my most played ever game and one of my most favorite games ever. Probably, was it my number one? It
was your number one.
Yeah, Civilization 5 was my number one on the list. I can get bored of Civilization. I can't get bored of Balatro. It's way too much.
It's frictionless. It's like an IV of the gamer juices right into your veins.
Even more so than Vampire Survivors ever was.
Right.
I need help.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So it's a problem.
I need to check myself into BA.
Balatro's
Anonymous. Everyone's got clown makeup on.
Well, that is an excellent smorgasbord of what we've been playing so far. How about we take a break, and when we return, it's going to be a big, steaming helping of Persona 5 Royal Talk. We'll see you then. And we're back. So, against all odds, somehow all three of us, Heath included, are currently playing Persona 5 Royal. So the game starts in April of the year 20XX.
I am on May 1st.
All right, Heath has cleared the first month. Where are you, Samantha?
I don't know the exact date. I think it's like July 10th.
Do you have a rough hour count? How deep you are?
I think 40 hours in, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe longer.
Maybe longer, because I'm in mid-August, probably around 65 hours of playtime, and I've cleared the first 4 palaces. So I'm in the thick of it. It's both of your first times playing it. I, of course, played vanilla Persona 5 back in the day. Let's dig into those impressions.
I mean, when you described Persona to me, it sounded like a game I was going to love, and I've not been proven wrong yet. I think the only weakness the game has is that sometimes the combat can be tedious, especially when you're trying to like optimize and knock out the palace in one day instead of having to go back multiple times because you want to rank up your confidant with Ryuji, and you don't want to waste time beating up Kamoshida. But other than that, I think it's a great game. I'm enjoying my Japanese high school experience very much.
Yes, if you want to max min your time, which the game incentivizes you to do, and you know I can't get enough of, unfortunately, that is a bit of a pacing issue where to be as time efficient as possible, you should clear the entire palace dungeon in one calendar day, instead of breaking it up, which the game kind of alludes to wanting you to do, but those capital G gamers out there won't allow it.
Wait, so I could have infiltrated, found the treasure, and not done the calling card thing? Because as soon as you find the treasure in Kamoshida's palace,
it'll force you out.
They say,
right.
Let's go. Post that calling card.
Right.
You have to do that.
Right, but in the future, I can just bang it out in one day?
Future palaces, you could get right to the calling card thing in one go.
Essentially, after you go in like the first time and you have like the little introduction sequence for the palace, the next time you go in of your own free will, you can beat it all in one go.
Great.
Yes. At the beginning, the game will often evict you for story reasons prematurely out of the palace.
Gosh. Okay. I mean,
Heath, I feel like you're going to be least kind to this game, which is fine. We like a variety of opinions.
We can talk about how annoying Morgana is because, man, Morgana sure is annoying.
Maybe it's just because I'm grinding too much in the palace when I should be using stealth sprinting. I level up freaking Ryuji's Chariot Arcana, whatever, that says now it's harder to detect you while you stealth sprint. And I was like, I forgot sprinting was a mechanic.
Hold down that right trigger.
Atlas's run speed is fine. Queen Meave should take notes. So my main issue is, you know how there's a fast forward button for cutscenes?
Yes.
I'm tempted to hit that every time. Every time the calendar date just spins rapidly, and then the silhouette of Joker in the interrogation room from the very beginning of the game, having to deal with the hot detective Sai.
Those get less frequent as the game progresses.
As soon as my most optimal thing is if I just fast forward until her dialogue box appears, so I can avoid a couple seconds of Joker brooding and her being like trying to crack him, like just get me back into high school. The best girl in the game is Takemi. Oh, we didn't say it all at the same time.
Takemi is a strong choice.
Yeah, she's pretty great.
I mean, how can you say no to her? That's the hot goth doctor who runs the small town clinic.
Yeah.
And has a dubious track record in the medical community.
Let's just, I mean, for posterity, you want to use that voice for every girl in the game and just describe them? Futaba is a high-tech cutie with an aptitude.
I mean, all right, here's the thing. The cast of Persona 5 romance options is stacked. There's hardly a bad one among them. Okay. I mean, maybe Ouya the reporter's pretty weak.
She got them orange glasses.
Yes.
She's got an orange shirt, but glasses.
Does Ouya wear glasses?
She's got her glasses are like up on her forehead.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
But no, you're just tripping over good options. But no, best girl is Makoto.
So
Obviously.
you guys are playing this here?
I'm playing it at home on my PC.
Okay. And I play it on my Switch.
Great. Okay. Ooh, on your Switch. How long does it take to load?
Oh, not super long. I think like a half second maybe.
I forget that Royal, right? So I imagine they optimized it maybe.
I hope so, yeah.
Heath, how are you stomaching the potent dose of anime you're intaking while you play this game?
I take it I've never played this game while Bailey's in my same zip code. I play it under cover of darkness.
It helps you immerse yourself into the mind of a phantom thief.
Yes. Yeah, I'm in and out without a trace. Guys, maybe here in America, when the action hero is like, I'm going to take out my gun and shoot you with my gun because it's a gun. And then the villain is like, I'd like to gun you try. Like, maybe us Americans are all like that. But boy, does Japan love forgiving rapists. And they just can't get enough of like, this is a bad man, but he has atoned for his ways. We got to give him another chance.
Are you referring to Kamoshida and how seemingly most of the school's complicit with his sexual assault?
So he confessed maybe like an hour ago in my playthrough.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
You've made it further than I ever thought you would, to your credit.
And I never would have gotten this far had you not existed.
Heath glanced knowingly at Samantha for the audio listener.
I don't know what I did.
No, because I want to talk about it. I wanted to have an informed opinion. Yeah, the best part of the game is the opportunity cost, how to spend your day.
Agreed.
High school life.
Definitely.
I've gone to the bathhouse once on a Monday, so I get a special bonus, right? Mondays and Thursdays.
Oh, okay. I thought it was the bonus I'm aware of is weather dependent.
No, but if the weather's bad, I'm going to study, obviously.
Extra knowledge.
Yeah. It'd be crazy to do anything on a day of bad weather other than study.
Bathing on a rainy day will grant you some extra guts.
Yeah.
Because an old man shows up who uses scalding hot water in the bath.
Ooh. Okay. I was trying to level up my guts. That's why I went to the movies. That's why I rented the X-Files.
Yeah.
Right.
It's why I'm reading the pirate book from the library.
Right. Have you done the Big Bang Burger Challenge?
Not yet. That's at the
Big Bang
Believe it or
Burger.
not,
Fast
it's at
food
the Big
restaurant?
Bang Burger. Yeah.
Okay.
You get a discount if you eat there at night.
Okay.
There's all these tricks of the trade, how you can optimize your daily life to squeeze out those extra precious social points.
I have yet to train with Morgana in my bedroom.
Don't bother.
Nor
Right,
should
yeah.
you.
Nor should I. Okay, good.
On Sundays, there's a smoothie shop you can go to in the train station.
Underground walkway.
Okay.
Underground walkway.
That's where I got my job, right?
Yes,
Yes.
that's where the job
I've
flyers
yet
are.
to report for my first day of work, though.
And you can buy a smoothie that gives you a personality point. What are they called?
Social
social
Yeah,
stats.
social stat. Yeah. Yeah.
You can't even call them S-links anymore.
Oh yeah,
Right.
social links are now confidants.
Whatever. Yeah.
Sometimes
I've heard the
trip it
word
up.
S-link 100 times
Persona purist Heath over here.
before this game. Well, I know everything. I just don't play them.
Right.
The batting cages.
I have yet to hit the batting cages.
Impossible. It's so hard. It boosts your proficiency, I think.
In theory.
It's so hard to hit the baseball and crack a home run to get the free session. If you hit 3 home runs over the weekend, I think you get a free.
I haven't been to the batting cages either.
It's really hard. Oh well, heck, I did that in my first whatever.
I was busy with Takemi.
And you guys are in good on you.
I'm on my summer break right
Yeah,
now.
that's crazy. Wait, how come Japan, they got class on Saturdays, but then they got weird holidays? Have you done entrance exams yet?
I have survived 2 rounds of finals so far.
Okay. How much are you cheating? Well, no, you're already familiar with all the in-class when pop
I can say
quiz
for
teacher
sure
answers.
that Chris is cheating.
I look up school answers. Yes, it's true.
But I can say that I've cheated a little bit for the exam seasons because I don't want to not get good grades.
Fair enough. Yeah, because then you'll miss
It's-
flirting with who's the girl in the library that refuses to talk to me.
Oh, that's Makoto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's my future wife.
Yeah.
You're talking to.
She's my future wife. Back off.
All right.
You've had her already.
Oh, jeez. So, why can't I check my health and SP during the consult in the palace when Morgana's like, "All right, gang, how are we gonna spend our what's the debrief? What are you gonna use any items?" And
Why did Morgana become a baritone all of a sudden?
so no, but God, does it kill? Who makes Hideki Kamiya? Who's the Atlas man?
Who's the Atlas man?
Yeah, is it just Atlas? Okay, Big Daddy Atlas.
Big Daddy Atlas.
Can I please see? Give me some UI. You can obviously tell how much health and action points your team's got just milling about. But when you get to the screen where it asks whether or not you want to talk to the team, use an item, or leave.
When you're in a safe room?
Yeah, you're in a safe room.
There are 2 ways you could do that.
I need a Steam mod.
You could just open up the menu and look before you start to talk.
Yeah, before you start to talk.
Or you can click use an item, and then if you look in the items menu,
Yeah.
it'll pop up next to it.
Yeah, like in a game, I mean, these menus are really flashy, but does it kill me to get some quality of life UX in this game?
Complaining about the UX in Persona is baffling.
I gotta make a million.
It's like, that's the best part of the game.
Yeah, but I want to know whether or not I need to do that before I click. It's
Yeah. I
too many
see.
clicks.
If
Save
you
me
ask your
a half
team
an A
how they
button
are,
press.
they'll be like, "Oh, I'm tired," or "Oh, I'm not feeling well," and that's like their indicator if they need
Whatever.
items. But it's kind of weak.
Hey, wow, Joker, you found a will seed. There's 2 others in this dungeon. I couldn't care. As soon as I saw the throne room, I was like, I got one. Do I really care about these will seeds? Because now the Kamoshida Palace is gone.
You can just buy them from Jose.
Who's Jose?
Great question. I have no idea who that man is. I don't like his inclusion.
Uh-huh.
He seems so out of place.
I don't like that his name is clearly Jose, but everybody pronounces it Jose.
Oh.
It's awful.
Everyone on the development team doesn't have a single Latin bone in their body.
Exactly.
Oh, well, I mean, Mrs. Chuno that teaches your English class.
Oh.
Who is like, I want you all to forget that you're Japanese and think like a foreigner. What does Wonder Kid mean? That one I didn't have to cheat, but the freaking 4-color theorem. That one.
Oh.
That one I was like, I don't know what the name of it is.
It's funny that Persona gives the perception that Japanese high school is just learning random, unrelated bits of trivia.
Isn't it? I only did one fusion.
Oh, you should be fusing more liberally.
When I was starting out, I didn't fuse a lot either. You'll grow into it.
But Igor says, your friendship with Ryuji sucks, so your fusion's gonna suck. So I was like, God damn, I'll just wait until I desperately need the fusion.
You shouldn't let that stop you. As long as you have a friendship, it's going to boost it. If you're fusing into an arcana that you don't have a friend for, maybe hold back. That would be my advice.
I say the more fusion, the better.
Just
go hog wild.
Make sure the result is a magician or a fool or a chariot.
Yeah. And when you're leaving Kamoshida's palace, so you're about to get more people to be friends with.
Kamoshida's gone. Yeah.
Very soon, the limiters will be coming off. On this replay, it was so obvious to me. The first 5.5, 6 hours, I don't feel like I have any agency. No. They're just along for the roller coaster ride.
It's the longest tutorial of all time.
Yeah. So I beat Kamoshida confessed. I'm like a third of the way through the game.
Oh.
Please tell me.
Dude, I'm
at the 40% mark.
You're not going to finish this game.
It's
Heath.
exhausting.
There's no chance.
I mean, I like the opportunity cost. How am I going to spend my evening? I always check the D-pad to see what everybody else did. And they're all studying at LeBlanc. I ought to study too, but the weather's not bad. I'll watch a DVD. But I'm not going to finish this game?
You're not going to finish this game.
Wow.
Don't kill his hope.
If Heath rolls credits on Persona 5 Royal, I will resign my position as co-host on Mobius Tubes, and you can take over, Samantha.
No thanks.
I mean, I'm clearly not smelling every rose.
You're trying to critical path it, sure.
Kinda, yeah.
Is there a critical path in
you know,
Persona 5?
You ever go the evening on a Sunday where it does a city landscape shot, and then there's just like social, like the public opinion bubbles that kind of show up. I am kind of just getting through those.
I don't read those either.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about like the listening things, people on the street, the chatters?
Sometimes I do.
Okay.
Here's a question for you. What gender do you think Morgana is?
He says he's a boy.
Oh, darn, you got to that part.
You got
okay.
the clarification question.
I think that was in like hour 4.
Okay.
Women voice actor, though.
I kept calling Morgana a she until Chris corrected me.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, 13 Sentinels did that with what's-his-face?
Oh.
The Japanese love girly boys.
Best friend of Yokisabe. Boy.
Yakisoba-pan. Yeah. Which it was mentioned in this game, but I've yet to pay any money. What should I spend all my money on? Personas from Igor's shop.
They're not a bad way to spend money, but I think you have a higher priority in the early game because I'm assuming during your battles in Kamoshida's palace, how limited were you with your SP?
Oh, yeah.
It became a
limiting
factor.
Yes.
Then you want some SP recovery items.
I think Takemi sold me... No, she only sold me like health.
Do you know what confidant rank you are with Takemi?
2.
You need to hit 5.
Damn.
She'll sell you SP adhesives.
Do you know how much like Viagra I have to swallow to get that? That's a lot of clinical trials.
You got to do a lot of clinical trials. But every time you do one, you get more guts.
Okay, but there was like a guts threshold I had to hit.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So the max minning of your daily life schedule in Persona 5 is where this game sucks me in so thoroughly. Where this has the same appeal of like a good action efficiency board game where I want to be as efficient as possible, get as much done in my finite 12-month calendar school year as a Japanese high schooler as you possibly can squeeze out of it. So I want every palace to take 1 day, which means to have my party's stamina carry me through in one session, I need to have robust SP recovery items. So therefore, my number one priority in the early game, I need to hit rank 5, at least rank 5 with Takemi, ideally rank 7 to get a discount.
By June.
ASAP.
Yeah.
So I can buy her accessories that give me constant SP recovery. So that's priority numero uno. But then there's a roadblocker where you need to be at least guts level 2. So how do you rank up your guts in this game? You've got to hit up the bathhouse on rainy days.
I did the DVD.
Buy DVDs, like you said, the X-Files.
I watched White Shirt Tango at the movie theater.
If you study in the library on a not rainy day,
I refuse.
you'll earn guts instead of extra knowledge.
Yeah, but it's so inefficient.
It's the same level of efficiency. It's just a different social stat.
Meh.
So you plan out your cascading order of operation priorities. In order to clear the palace quickly, I need to be friends with Takemi. In order to undertake her clinical trials, I need to have big guts. But the game is constantly tempting you to go off your beaten path with your part-time jobs calling you up saying, we'll pay you boku bucks if you show up today exactly. Deviate from your original plan to hit up that bathhouse. Or the weather effects are encouraging you to go study in the library because you know you're going to have that extra focus today.
So, surrogate father figure Sojiro is like,
Brojiro.
You want to help me around the coffee shop?
And he's just so damn charming and you can't say no.
You only get one music note when you help him. Is that just
When
a
you mop the
cosmetic
floors?
thing? I mopped the floors once.
It's worth noting music notes are not exact.
They're qualitative, not quantitative.
They indicate a range of affinity points. So one note might mean like 1, 2, or 3 points behind the scenes.
But when you give a girl chocolate on Valentine's Day, they just gush music notes.
Probably.
Nice.
Well, assuming you were loyal. Because otherwise, the final boss of Persona is February 14th, where all of your waifus show up at once. Yeah, you're in the ultimate doghouse. But no, as the number of distractions exponentially grows as you hit each additional month into the calendar, the game just becomes so much more tantalizing as your fractured focus is splintered in so many different directions. And I have so many competing priorities. I desperately want to be the smartest kid in class on my finals. I want to be an erudite scholar with my knowledge.
I can't even read a book on the subway because I need level 2.
You can check out books from the library.
No, I can, but there's a book on the...
There's a certain
Morgana's
book.
like, what do you
Right.
want to read? And I cracked one open and she was like, oh, you don't even know what these words mean.
You're illiterate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Imagine if Chris was on the subway and he's like, it's one of those book reading spontaneous events. Good thing I got this book. I'm too dumb to read. Reset. He would have if he didn't have a save scum. How many save files do you have?
I use all the possible slots.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I save minimum 2 times per calendar day.
Per day.
There's so many things to consider. Like as soon as July 1st hits, July 1st, you have the ability to speed read going forward, where you can consume 2 chapters per reading session.
That's like a whole book.
That's like a whole book until you get to the special book neighborhood of Tokyo where they sell you books that require 3 chapters.
Oh.
Yeah. And then on top of this compelling action efficiency puzzle, that's so compelling because each day is finite. You will hit the final day in Persona and there's no way to get more time.
Right.
Just like in real life, you'll die.
Oh my God.
But layered on top of that is the emotional, interpersonal narrative stories that emerge as you get to know each one of this robust cast of characters. It's to the point where when I hit a new day, my phone is blowing up with 6 DMs of all these people who want to hang out with me. What a vibrant social life this Damon has. My character's name is Damon.
Oh.
Who do you name your character, Heath?
It's just my name. But my
Thank you.
last name has too many characters, so I had to abbreviate it.
Yeah, I got flack for naming my guy Sam, so I feel validated.
He looks like a Damon. You can't say he doesn't.
But Joker?
Yeah.
Chris has no leg to stand on because it's not like Pokemon where it autofills ash or red.
I wish it did, honestly. Yeah.
Because then he'd be vindicated, yeah.
Yeah.
Especially
Or no,
because
even then he'd be like, these Atlas, they don't know what they're talking about. This is clearly a Damon.
Ren who? It's Damon.
Yeah.
Does Anne re-enter the game? We went through hell to get Kamoshida canceled, and now she's like, I haven't interacted with her at all. I've gone for a jog with Ryuji 4 times and made 6 cups of coffee, and An is just like nowhere.
An will come back.
She's like, I gotta go see
Shiho
in the hospital.
Speaking of, how was your reaction to the Shiho scene?
Do
Do I?
What, the girl threatening suicide?
I don't think it was a threat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, impacting the ground made it not a threat.
She was wearing volleyball shoes. They're good for jumping.
Ay. So, Sam, you're right, because we had to make our main intro villain nefarious.
Right. He's pretty unapologetically awful.
I tell you this, if Shiho was a girl on the same tier as any of the romance confidants or something, I would feel very differently. But I kind of just see her as an NPC. Which, ironically, all the girls in the game are NPCs.
But there's a distinction between NPC and confident NPC.
Right.
You did ask how to spend your money, and then Chris talked a lot about the Persona system.
I forgot what he talked about.
The Airsoft shop, if you've been there, that's a great place to... I would always go and upgrade your weapons there if you can.
Yeah. And I'm selling a bunch of like pearls and dog collars.
I just sell it all without looking. Don't want to know why there are dog collars in Kamoshida's mansion. It's uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that. It was just numbers to me. How much yen am I getting?
Yeah, I have like 50,000 yen. Do I have a ton of money because I have the royal copy?
Did you open your cardboard box in your room? Okay.
Yeah, and you just had
what
to
a generous gift.
You just had to spam through all these bonus costumes, I think, that Chris owns.
Your royalty. Yeah.
It may feel like you're well off for now, Heath, but as soon as you have to start paying for Kawakami's home visits, you'll burn through that change fast.
Who's Kawakami?
Your teacher.
Oh.
For some special lessons.
Oh, yeah. Chris, is there a shameful bone in your body?
Heath, it's actually worse than you think.
If only you knew. Keep playing.
I guess
keep playing to find out. Yeah.
How come the tension level, what am I trying to say? The alert
percentage,
never went below 80%, even though I was ambushing every Tom, Dick, and Harry.
What?
Yeah, well, no. When you finally, it's like, all right, you do the calling card that does the graphic where the threat level goes to midnight. It's just 100%.
Oh, right.
And then you get in there, and it's like, we're going to steal the treasure. Don't bother with these grunts, even though I fought like literally every single...
Wait.
Heath, what?
I fought like every single tiny guy.
Heath, you didn't just teleport to the treasure room?
I fought every single guy.
You walked through the entire palace?
Yeah, so what you do, there's a hole in the wall by the front door, and you hop in, and then the door...
Heath, there's fast travel in this game.
No, but the thing is, you learn that the portrait has like a false backing, so you can just hop through the false back and go into the tower. But then the door leading to the lobby was locked. So I had to go like the original way, and you pass by the hallway where An was first captured, and then you go into like the room where it's like it's got the first treasure that had the silver knife, and then you keep going through the hallway, and then there was like the grapple hook tutorial, and then the spiral staircase, and then that's like where you learned how to do the ambush, and you keep going, and then finally you get up the tower, and you got like there's all like the weird geometry, and then like the iron gate bar puzzle. Thankfully, all the puzzles had already been solved during the infiltration thing. But then finally you finally get to the throne room after had to be more than 45 minutes.
Heath, you made this game worse.
And then you fight the big gross man.
Don't do that.
You're supposed to just fast travel to the thing?
Yes.
Then what good is 100% threat level?
It's not. It means nothing.
It's cosmetic?
Yes.
It means they're on high alert, so their treasure has materialized, and you just skip to the treasure.
Gotta fast travel to the boss?
I mean, if you care about having magic attacks, yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
All right, good. Good of you. I'm taking notes. I'm eager to see what the next bad guy's graphic design shadow version looks like.
Oh, yeah. I do like seeing those.
Yeah. What's my shadow version graphic design? It's probably just this. For the audio listener, I'm making a silly face.
So you think you will keep at it?
Depends on my relationship.
Okay.
Because if
with your confidants.
Right, yeah. No, I mean if Bailey comes home early, I gotta Alt F4 or whatever it is. Delete subsystem 32. Is that a joke you understand?
There's something you're not supposed to delete in Windows. I'm guessing maybe that.
Yeah.
I thought I'd go out with some impressions as an older Persona 5 fan who played the vanilla version back in the day.
Yeah. Where the hell is this red-haired bitch that it was like so polite with me in the very beginning?
The honor student, Kasumi.
Yeah. And then she just deleted herself from my game. I don't know where she's been.
She's coming back.
Oh.
Just you wait.
Oh.
Along with the best guy.
Yeah, I played Persona 5 back when it came out in 2017. It's funny playing the same game 7 years later because at the time, that was like my last year of college. And I was like, oh, this is
the parallels are strong.
Yeah, I was still in the world of academia, the student life. And it was a way to revisit the high school years with some rose-tinted glasses.
And then all your friends had already played 3 and 4 in Golden and all that.
Yes,
And
I had
2.
college
2?
friends were big fans of 4. They turned me on to the series.
Didn't they play 2 as well?
I don't believe so. Has anyone played 2?
No one has ever played 2.
And which 2?
Persona.
But Eternal Sin or something Punishment?
Guy, I still have PTSD from that game.
Oh, the guessing game.
So anyway, you're living
and now I'm
college life.
revisiting it 7 years later, middle of my career, and it's fun. It feels like I'm revisiting old friends. It's been very, very charming to me. As far as comparing the Royal version to Vanilla, this has my admittedly low expectations for how different the Royal version would be compared to the OG Persona 5. They're regularly being exceeded. I thought the tone was set in the game's opening 90 seconds. This new character pops up who I've never seen before, Kasumi. And I'm like, oh, it's going to be immediately, it's going to be different. And yeah, routinely, I'm kind of shocked with how many new additions there are. Of course, the most front and center one are the new confidants we're hanging out with, like the school counselor. And
have I met her yet?
Oh, you've not met him.
You've not met him.
He's dreamy.
He's brought in to recuperate the school after the Kamoshida trauma.
Incident, yes.
Yeah.
And the girls love it.
Oh, he's a real dreamboat, that one. Samantha can't get enough.
Sounds like a threat.
But there's new neighborhoods of Tokyo to explore, new minigames like darts to engage with, more ways to pass time around LeBlanc Cafe, which is appreciated because originally Morgana would tell you go to bed and there was damn near nothing to do besides go to bed.
Oh, you couldn't craft a lockpick?
Couldn't solve a crossword.
Where is that? Yeah, I've yet to see one.
They're pretty infrequent.
They'll be on the tables in LeBlanc, Story 1.
Oh, yeah, I seen the magazine once.
Go up and interact with it.
Okay.
There's new combat mechanics, like baton passes are somehow even more useful now. Or you haven't seen these, Heath, yet, but there's brand new, flashy Showtime attacks that certain party member configurations can do.
Whoa.
And they're very amazing. So yeah, it's been this constant drip feed of not exactly earth-shattering new additions, but nonetheless, they're welcome changes to make the game just like unequivocally better. So I'm appreciating that. And that all goes without saying that I haven't even hit the new semester yet, which will just be straight up new content to me. I think the game has a new ending, new palaces that I have not seen a single pixel of.
Wait, you beat the first game?
Right.
The first game.
This game's longer because that was the one thing Persona 5 needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But as much fun as it's been discovering all of these changes, I can't help but be kind of annoyed at publisher Atlas for knowingly selling me such a neutered version of Persona 5 back in 2017. They knew full well they were going to continue development work and just in a year or two later release this much more robust, fully fleshed out version with all the bells and whistles for full price with no upgrade path for the original fans. So that was an icky business practice. It certainly has made me gun shy about buying Persona 6 when that comes out, or Metaphor Re Fantasio when that comes out later this year, another Atlas game by the same studio. So yeah, I can't help but be like miffed, like, man, why'd you sell me such a inferior version of this game? In such close proximity to each other. So my final concluding thought is if you're paying any attention at all as a consumer of video games, it's obvious these publishers give you every incentive to just wait and not buy games at release. The prices plummet. The quality of life improves through the roof. You get all this additional content.
Except for Paper Mario. Just pre-order that because that'll never plummet.
Well, Nintendo's maybe the exception since their games don't go on sale. But it's almost absurd how thoroughly you're rewarded just for exercising a modicum of patience when it comes to buying video games. I felt Persona eternally punished for buying the original for $60. Anyway, that was my concluding thoughts about the differences between the versions.
What color is Persona 6 going to be?
Rumor has it green.
Because we haven't done green and...
Because Persona 4 is yellow, 3 is blue.
5 is red.
I think 1 or 2 was...
They're orange and purple.
True fan
Wow.
Samantha knows.
He showed me like a week ago.
Okay. And that's Persona 5 talk. Expect more in the future when I finish Palaces 5, 6, and 7.
When do you go on dates?
Oh, us two? Or do you mean with Makoto?
Yeah, I'm too busy romancing Makoto.
We'll tell you off air.
Okay.
All right, we'll take another break, and when we return, we have a special surprise for Heath.
What?
See you then. Hey Heath, we're back.
Oh, okay, we're back.
I thought we'd take advantage of the trio of hosts on this episode.
Oh, we're gonna play a game? What?
We're gonna play a game. We're gonna play video game 20 questions guessing. But Heath, we're gonna have to collaborate to try to come up with whatever obscure under the radar game Samantha has selected.
This
for
is
us.
a joy. Oh my gosh.
I was told not to pick a game that you guys would never have heard of.
Yeah, I mean,
so
Why
that
not?
limited
What,
my
you don't
options.
know. You don't know.
Did you guys play Disney Princesses for the Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, the Moana sections were
Moana
ideal.
didn't exist
Oh,
back
shit,
then,
I'm-
Heath.
I found out. Chris has got the release dates, and I got the esoteric dark knowledge.
With our powers combined, we can't be stopped.
I picked one that I think you guys would be aware of.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah.
That we've seen the title at some point. Otherwise, our chances are slim.
Chris and I are doing like the Dragon Ball give them your power side grabs.
My biggest fear is you guys get it in like 5 questions or something.
So, Samantha has selected a game.
Is it Man vs. Wild for the DS?
I think to raise the stakes, we only have one shot at naming an actual video game title.
Okay.
So we have to be pretty confident with our guess.
Yeah.
And I think to make sure we're both equally involved, we should alternate who has the right to ask a question.
Yeah. Loser has to delete their Persona 5 saves. No, we're on the same team.
We're on the same team.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
All right. So with that, Heath, would you like to ask the first yes or no question to narrow it down?
Yeah, because I know exactly what you would ask, so I'll just ask it. Was this game released between the years 2010 and 2019?
No.
Man, I would not have asked that question.
Why not? What are you talking about?
That was such a specific range. I would have selected, hey, did this come out after the year
Before or
2000?
after? Hell.
Great teamwork, guys.
This is what this
19 to go.
19 to go. All right, I'll keep track.
Well, 18 because the last question
Okay.
would have to be.
We've eliminated one decade.
How many decades are there?
All right. Did this game release during or after the year 2000?
Yes.
Okay, so it's this millennium.
And not even. It's from 2000 to 2010.
No.
2000 to 2009.
No. I
What?
asked after the year 2000.
Yeah,
it
but
could have
then-
come out yesterday.
Oh, sorry. So our subset is from 2000 to now, excluding the years 2010 to 19.
Yeah, what a weird batch of years to
It
eliminate.
didn't come out. Okay. All right, it's back to me.
It's back to
This
you,
is going
Heath.
well.
We should probably narrow down if it was before or after that gap you eliminated.
Why would we do that? Wow.
Because that would really change which consoles we're talking about.
Punishing. Okay, did this game come out after 2019?
No.
Okay, so it's the first decade of the 2000s. Confirmed.
It's the aughts.
The odds. 3 questions down.
Back to Chris.
Okay.
Can you play as a girl?
Is this game exclusively playable on one platform?
Yes.
Oh, it's an exclusive.
It's an exclusive.
4 questions down.
Okay. Hey, Samantha.
Hey, Heath.
During this game, do you ever get behind the wheel of a car?
No.
Okay.
No cars. Mario Kart eliminated. Hey, Samantha, can you play it on a Nintendo console?
Yes.
It's not Nintendo.
It's Professor Layton.
In that year range, it would probably be the GameCube, the Wii, the DS, maybe Game Boy Advance.
Hey, Samantha, why did you pick this game? No. Okay. Real question coming in. Does your main character hold a sword?
No.
7 questions down.
All right.
Hey, Samantha, do any characters from the Mushroom Kingdom appear in this game?
No.
I told you it's Professor Layton.
So that'd be like no Donkey Kong, probably.
I mean, he resides in tropical freeze, not Mushroom Kingdom.
They're just neighbors.
Okay, yeah.
I would have said yes if Donkey Kong.
Good to know. Good to know. That's a
future
freebie.
reference. Thank you.
Freebie.
Hey, Samantha, is there an animal on the box art?
No.
No. Okay, so
No
Nintendogs is out.
Nintendogs. No Cookin' Mama either,
Because there's a chicken?
because she's a real dog. I don't know what I meant by that.
What did Cookie Mama ever do to you?
Yeah.
Hey, Samantha, do you play it on a handheld?
Yes.
Oh.
There we go. Dude, I'm telling you, it's Professor Layton.
We've eliminated half of our questions.
Whoa, okay.
No more messing around.
Yeah.
I mean, you spent 3 on decades.
gives me great pause. Okay. Does it make sense to ask if this is a licensed game? If it's like Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets?
I think that's a good question, Heath.
Whether or not it's a licensed thing? Because that's how you narrow down on friggin' Just Dance ABBA.
Maybe. Yeah, you ask if it's based on a license or something.
Hey, Samantha, is it based on a license?
So by that you mean some like intellectual property?
Yeah, outside of games.
Right.
No.
Shoot.
Well, good to know.
Nah. So it's not Shadow of Mordor.
Right, it's not the DS port of Shadow of Mordor.
There's
Darn.
a DS port?
No.
Okay.
Not yet.
No, I'm working on it.
Yeah, okay.
More people need to play it.
Can't wait to play it on my 3DS.
It's a handheld. But 3DS came out after 2010.
After 2012. Or after 2010.
That was a misnomer.
Okay.
Hey, Samantha, would this game fall under the genre of...
Action adventure. Right?
I want to name a couple genres and see if any of them hit.
What? That sounds like more than one question.
Well, no, it's just yes or no. So we don't know which one.
Oh, wow. This is a shotgun approach.
Yeah, I'm going to
Wait, why don't you just name half of the games and then we can narrow it down to the other half?
Which ones, what does your gut say it might be? I want to ask about puzzle. Mm-hmm. What else?
Okay, not adventure game because...
and not racing because you asked if you're behind a wheel.
Rhythm games.
I like that.
Like, friggin' what's the happy drum?
So I'll ask about...
Rhythm Heaven, you know.
Yeah. Samantha, would it fall under the genre of being a puzzle game, a rhythm game, or a like farming sim game?
No.
None of those.
That leaves Brain Age.
Mm.
Hey, Samantha, is this game playable on the DS?
Wait, 1 second.
Or any of its...
Is the DS backwards compatible with all Game Boy games?
Right.
Just ask if it originally released on one or the other.
Hey, Samantha, did this game originally release on a DS, a DS Lite, a DS XL, a DS, any of those Nintendo DSs?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. I feel much better known.
7 questions.
It would be so helpful if we knew what genre it was instead of some genres that it isn't.
It's probably gonna be a shooty type game or like a brawler.
Okay. It could be a sports game.
Could it be Melee? No, there's Pikachu's on the cover.
All the sports game I think of are like Mario crossover spin-offs, and there are no Mushroom Kingdom characters in it.
Darn. Sonic.
At the Olympic Games? Well,
Yeah.
Mario would be in
Sonic's an animal. He's a hedgehog.
He sure is.
It's a Fire Emblem game I've never heard about. But there's a sword.
Oh, the sword. We've done a good job knowing what it's not.
Yeah. Think outside the box.
And you were worried we were going to get it right away, Samantha.
Think Brain Age.
Non sequitur. As an aside, Samantha, would you classify Brain Age as a puzzle game in your eyes?
No.
Okay. So Brain Age is on the table.
Yeah.
What genre is Brain Age?
It's edutainment.
Edutainment?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking, all right.
Phantom Detective.
All right, Samantha. Would this game fall under any of these genres? Edutainment, shooter, sports game, or visual novel?
Yes.
It's one of those.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
We have 6 questions left.
Back in Heath's corner. Samantha, does the main character hold a gun?
No.
Darn.
All right, so probably not shooter.
5 questions.
Is this game an edutainment game?
Yes.
Down to 4
Samantha,
questions.
does Dr. Kawashima make an appearance?
Is that his name?
All right, Heath, I'm going to have to lean on you since it
Yes.
it seems like we're circling the drain of Brain Age. How many Brain Age games are on the DS?
There's Train Your Brain, and then there's maybe the Sudoku exclusive shovelware.
Okay, so it doesn't have like mainline sequels?
Fake Brain Age fan Heath over here.
Hey. I'm a dedicated. Gosh, well, no. There's like there is an extended version that's got like a green cover art.
How would you feel if I asked, is this the first game in its series?
Oh, that sounds pretty safe.
All right. Hey, Samantha, is this the first game in its series?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Heath, you can do the layup. You should go for the kill.
Yeah, go for the kill. Okay. Hey, Samantha, is this Dr. Kawashima's Train Your Brain, Brain Age?
Yes.
Nice.
That's the official title.
There is a sequel, by the way.
What color is the cover art?
I think it's blue.
It's blue.
Yeah.
We got there in the nick of time. That was good. That was
Crazy
a good pick.
how often Heath said Brain Age before you even acknowledged that he was saying
I was
Brain
letting
Age.
him cook. I knew we'd circle back to it.
The main the title is actually Train Your Brain in Minutes a Day. Mm-hmm. I got
Well
close.
done. Heath and I were quite the pair.
Good job, guys.
So you've played Brain Age.
Who hasn't?
Yeah,
Samantha.
of course. I've played that and the sequel. I loved it when I was a kid.
There are no animals on the cover.
There's a version for the Switch, I think.
Yes, there is. I thought of this game because I had listened to
own
the
it.
old podcast episode where Heath is talking about the Switch version.
That's right. You listened to this show.
Yeah, I do.
What new insights have you gleaned from seeing the behind the scenes, how the sausage is made?
You know, they say never to learn how, and you'll just be happier. So maybe
Never
I'll
meet your heroes.
never meet your heroes.
I mean,
yeah.
you're one of the rare people that have heard the 20 or so minutes that are gonna get cut.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll
Unless
never
I-
acknowledge them again.
Unless I fail to edit this out.
Like that really untasteful joke I made about cooking mama. That'll never make the final cut.
You wish. Yay!
Yay!
Good game.
Good game.
Good job, Heath and Chris.
Why, thank you. And now it's time for closing remarks. Hey, if you're a listener and you want to talk to Samantha, you can do so by sending an email to mobiustubespodcast@gmail.com.
She monitors the inbox.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That's her new role.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
new
we'll
intern.
see you again sometime, Samantha.
Sure.
It's
Thanks
been
for having me, guys.
A pleasure. You've done us quite the service with our amount of representation on this show.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah. What with you did the grunt work for the top 100 algorithm.
Oh yeah. You
Oh.
you cobbled that together for us.
That was fun. It was a nice programming break from my usual work, so I liked it.
You programmed that in R?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a real.
Is that
It's a
C++'s
statistical software language.
dark cousin?
It's easier than C++.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the more difficult one is called hard R.
Hard because it's so difficult, right?
Right.
That's why our department's so white.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, this has been episode 104. Thank you for listening, everybody. See you next week.